All right, everybody, it is time. Joel and I are getting ready for our week 3 match. I'm excited. Oh, he's already challenging me, so I'm going to go ahead. Week 3. Yes, that's Joel. I don't want to see those. Sorry about that. No music. Okay, so. All right, so first thing we notice is there is no Victini here, which I am pleased to see. I am very excited about no Victini. He does have both the Gyarados and the Celesteela, so Zapdos is going to be pretty good here. Now, what do I think he leads? I think if he's got a choice Scarfer, it's probably that Flygon. Nidoqueen is a really good switch in to the Regieleki, so that's something there. Man, oh man. Okay, let me think. I've got Joel here on FaceTime. Our mics are muted, so we're just looking back and forth at each other. So. Okay. As far as leads go, I'm expecting either the Flygon or the Regieleki, just because they both would more than likely outspeed and switch out. So, if that's the case, oh man, okay. See, this is. Okay, if I start. If I start with Zapdos, Choice Scarf Zapdos, is that what I want? I think I need to save the Zapdos. I'm not sure who to lead. That's my issue. Let's see. So Nidoqueen does well if he does not lead. I don't want him to lead Flygon. I feel like he leads the Regi. Now Reggie could have screens, which I don't like. And if he's got screens, I would like to hit him before he can set them up effectively. Mesprit can take some hits here, I think. If I go Mesprit, no, okay. We're going Latifa here. I think that's the move. No, it's not. Ah, okay. If I went Mesprit and he went with the Regi, I mean, Psyshock does a decent amount. He's not going to be. Psyshock does a decent amount. I think we can go Mesprit because Mesprit is not nearly as helpful. Lycanroc. Ooh. Alright, so we got Lycanroc in here. Wolfie VGC. I like the nickname. Okay, see, that's not what I wanted. So what would he go for here? I think maybe I could just Psyshock. He's got Crunch. I don't know that he would bring Crunch. I don't know if he has the move space for it. So I'm going to Psyshock and hope for the best here. And we're going to see. We're going to Psyshock and see what happens. Man, see, this is what... My team just matches up so awkwardly against Joel's that I wasn't sure what he was going to bring, and then once he brought it, depending on how the leads matched up, there were a lot of things to consider here. So I'm trying to figure out if Psyshock is the right move. I feel like I should just go into Katara, honestly. Yeah, that's a better move. I'm going to go into Katara. I think that's the move to do there. Joel's taking his time. Okay. So we got Jacob's in the chat also. I believe this one's Jacob. Are you Monster Steel, Jacob? I think he is. I apologize if that's not you, Jacob, but I'm pretty sure it is. But I think that's probably the better play. Like I said, Milotic is not nearly as important without the Victini, so I'm not looking for the Milotic to do as much anymore. I don't really need to toxic. He didn't bring the Porygon, so I don't need to toxic the Porygon. And it is really defensive here. Joel's really taking some time to figure out what he wants to do. You guys may have to do some fast forwarding on this match if you don't want to hear all of the commentary in between moves. Joel and I were talking before this match, and we're both kind of feeling the same way. Like, it's just our teams match up interestingly against each other, and so neither one of us wants to lose. Neither one of us wants to lose in general, but we don't want to lose, a Pokemon turn 1 or something like that because we didn't have a good matchup there. So I think this is what we're both looking at now. I think if I went, so if he's going, because he's Lycanroc here. Okay, he moved. What did he do? Stone Edge. Yep. Alright, so he is Life Orbed. I am now burned. I've got the defense increase. So now what do I think he does? I think I could just recover. Or I could expect him to go into something... Let's see. I could just flip turn. Because he's not going to stay in, right? I would imagine not. Even if he does, I think that would be okay. I don't want to Toxic because he might go into Celesteela, and that would be a wasted move. I think I flip turn here, just for the momentum. Recover would be nice. to get my health back, but then I would be stuck in here against whatever he brought in, which I don't want. Now, if he switches out into... I don't think he would switch into Flygon here. Because if he does go Flygon, I would want Milotic to be the one that's in on the Flygon. So what? Sylveon? Maybe? I'm going to flip turn. I think that's the move. Because if he switches into Gyarados expecting the water move, I could go out into Zapdos. If he goes Celesteela, I could go out into Zapdos. I don't think he stays in. I would imagine not. Because Stone Edge is probably his move here, I would imagine, against Katara. I don't think he's... I mean, he might be running Thunderfang. That's an option. And if he is running Thunderfang and stays in... No, okay, so he goes for Stone Edge and misses, which is unfortunate. See, I didn't... This is what I didn't want. I did not want to have him miss. So if I just go Terrakion here... I don't want to take any damage, though. But obviously Terrakion is less important without the Porygon. So I could just go Terrakion. Or I could go... I wish I knew some more about his set here. I could go Silvally. If I go Silvally, and he is packing the close combat... let's see, so if he's Lycanroc Dusk here, let's say he's max attack. I know he's Life Orbed. Close combat to my Terrakion is a one-shot, which means close combat to the Silvally is not a one-shot, but if I switch it in on that... See, that's not what I want. Man. I mean, I have to go Zapdos. It's the only thing that outspeeds it. So here I have Zapdos. If I go Thunderbolt... Like, I'm assuming he could just Excel Rock here, right? If he Excel Rocks my Zapdos, that does a lot. Thunderbolt would take him out from here, though, which is a trade I think I'm willing to make, especially if he's not expecting... I mean, I'm assuming he's expecting the Scarf at this point, because why would I bring in Zapdos here? So he could go out into Flygon. If he goes out into Flygon and I Thunderbolt, then I just go back out into Katara. I think is what I do here. Because I don't want to U-turn. If I could take him out unexpecting, or if he's not expecting it and I can take him out here, I think I would want to do that. I think that's too good of an opportunity to pass up. So I think I have to Thunderbolt. Because if he's running the close combat, I can't go Terrakion because he's faster. I can't go Silvally for the same reason. It just does too much damage. So I'm hoping he just goes Stone Edge and expects the, not expecting the Choice Scarf. If that's an option. That's what I'm hoping happens here. that's something. Accelerock. Okay, yeah. So we are seeing this Accelerock. So this will take out the Lycanroc, which is what I wanted to see. So Lycanroc is out, which is good. So now I imagine he goes the Regieleki or the Flygon. Probably the Regieleki, because Flygon would potentially get staticked as well. Most of his moves are contact with things like Dragon Claw and U-turn, First Impression, and stuff. So I imagine he goes Regieleki here. Yep, okay. So here we got a switch. Who we switch into, I think, is going to be, I think we go Latifa pretty much every time. Latifa is the switch. Regieleki is fast, but does not get a lot of doesn't get a lot of coverage. So I imagine that this is a safe switch in. I don't know what he would do. Maybe set up a screen. Let's see here. I apologize. I know we take a long time to make moves occasionally, so this might be a longer battle until we get through some of the initial reflect. Okay, that's what I thought we were going for. I think here I just Earth Power. He probably wants to get up his other screen. If I Earth Power, see, this is where the mind games come in, because if I Earth Power and he goes, he's got all three of his Earth Power switch-ins in the Flygon, the Celesteela, and the Gyarados. So if I Earth Power under screens, that is going to be something there. Let's see, he's under light screen, for example. If he's under light screen, I could still take him out. So maybe I just Earth Power expecting the light screen, and if he switches in, I could go Katara against any of them. I still have a good Katara switch. So I think that's what we do here. We just Earth Power. We Earth Power and we wait to see what he goes for. He's running calcs. I can see him. We both really want to win here, so. But I think if I go Earth Power, if he stays in, no, Celesteela. Okay, that makes sense. Still only behind the. So if we got a Celesteela here, okay, we're not under light screen, so that does a considerable amount. If he's max HP, max special defense, which I don't know if he would be, but if he's max, I still do about 50%. He'll probably have Earthquake. Now, because I don't want to switch in, I want to switch in Zapdos is what I want to do, but I don't think that's the move. So maybe here I just go... I think I just Thunderbolt. Yeah, Thunderbolt, 61%, that's good. Heavy Slam, okay, I'm fine with that. Is there any reason not to just Thunderbolt again? If I Thunderbolt again, he goes down. If he goes into Flygon, I switch out into Katara. I don't think he would want to switch in anything else, so I think I just Thunderbolt again. Yeah, okay, Celesteela is down. Flygon, yeah, that makes sense. I think here I go Katara. I imagine he just Earthquakes. Or Dragon Dances. If he Dragon Dances, that's what I don't want. Do I think he Dragon Dances? If I think he's going to Dragon Dance, expecting me to switch out, then I just hit Ice Beam, and maybe I can catch him. If Nidoqueen goes down, I think I'm still in an okay position. I really want it for the Regieleki still, though. The Regieleki and the Sylveon. So maybe I just Katara. If I go Katara, I think I'm gonna Ice Beam. Because if he Earthquakes, no, okay. If I go Katara and he takes out Katara, what do I do at that point, right? I could go Little Bop and go Ice Beam. Yeah, because if he's choiced and he choices himself into Earthquake, that would be ideal. So I'm gonna Ice Beam. I'm gonna Ice Beam. If he Dragon Dances, he dies. If he Earthquakes and locks himself into it, then he has to switch out, because I can go into Mesprit and be fine. Earthquake. Yep, okay. So that's what I thought he was going to do there. So if he's locked into Earthquake, hypothetically, this is the moment to find out, I suppose. If I go Little Bop, I Ice Beam expecting him to be locked into Earthquake, I think. I guess we find out now, because if he is choiced, he definitely switches here, I would imagine, because he can't hit me with Earthquake, because I'm levitating. So let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, so he switches. Yep, that's a big hit on Microwave here. Let's see. Reflect. He's probably going to set up the Light Screen now, which I don't really want, but if he sets up Light Screen, is Psyshock better? Psyshock would be better. I'm going to Psyshock. Thunderwave, okay. Psyshock, down goes Reggie. I wasn't expecting the Thunderwave, so that's something. Okay. He, I imagine, wants to Dragon Dance here. So if he Dragon Dances and I hit Thunderbolt, he's dead. If I'm stuck, if I get stuck, here's the thing. If he Dragon Dances and I go out into Zapdos, that's good, because I will outspeed him and hit him with a Thunderbolt. If he doesn't Dragon Dance and just attacks, then Zapdos goes down, and then I have a problem. Oh, he's Intimidate. He's not Moxie. Okay, that's better. So he's probably not... Would he have Dragon Dance then? If he does, I can live a plus... I can live. I'm Thunderbolting. I can live a +1 crunch or whatever. Especially if I'm not... Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I got the Thunderbolt off. Okay, so he goes either U-turn here. He can't Earthquake. We know he can't Earthquake. Which means if he U-turns into Sylveon. If he First Impressions, he'll be stuck into that. I'm going to go... If I go into Silvally to take the U-turn, he'll have to go out into Sylveon, right? He can't Earthquake. So I'm going to go... Actually, I think safer would be Katara to go for Toxic. I'm going to do that. It's safer to go Katara for Toxic. Outrage. Okay. See, that's fine. I think I just Scald here, because I'm going to go down to the Outrage, yeah. Oh, he still has one more turn of Outrage. I didn't like that. He's got one more turn of Outrage, so I go Silvally Steel. And I can multi-attack, or I could Parting Shot into... I don't think Parting Shot into anything really helps me, though. I think I multi-attack for damage. Oh, man. Okay. He's going to outspeed, so Parting Shot wouldn't help me here. I think I multi-attack for damage. Outrage, yeah. And I go, okay, so he's confused. Multi-attack, that does 50%. So he would still be in Outrage. He's locked into Outrage. Or no, he's not locked in, but I think he's choiced. Which means he would have to go Outrage again, or he would have to switch into Sylveon. So I'm going to multi-attack. And hope that he's choiced like I think he is. Yep, okay, so we switch. That does a lot of damage against Sylveon, which is great. So I think I just stay here and multi-attack and just finish up the game that way. So that takes out Sylveon. And then we got multi-attack on the Flygon. Because he can't, if he locks himself into Earthquake, which he might do. Do I need to preserve differential here? Outrage, Earthquake. 1, 2, 3, 4. If he locks himself in Outrage, I win. Earthquake might not kill me. I'm going to multi-attack. I'm just going to multi-attack. Yep, okay. So I lived. Down goes Flygon. All right, sweet. So we won that one. Good game to Joel. I've got him on the phone. Actually, we're going to walk through some of these battles. So I got Joel here. What's going on, Joel? Good game.
What's up? Good game.
Good game. Joel and I were talking about how our teams matched up against each other and that this was going to be a difficult battle. Really in either direction. I think Joel played pretty well. Was your Flygon scarfed or banded?
It was scarfed.
Scarfed. Okay, that's what I thought. We got a scarfed Flygon. I think pretty much everything else is about what I expected if I saw those Pokemon. I was expecting Moxie over Intimidate on the Gyarados, but I was expecting Dragon Dance Gyarados, which is why I brought the Scarfed Zapdos, so that I could outspeed at +1 and take you out with a Thunderbolt. So that was good. That was a good bring. I was surprised to see no Victini and no Porygon. Um,
I was really back and forth because, well, first of all, good game.
Thank
Not
you.
really pumped, but good game.
Thank you.
I think there was just right. I was really worried about Terrakion.
Right.
Like, I was worried about a Choice Scarf Terrakion. Sorry, I'm trying to prevent my rabbit from getting into crap.
Yeah, I understand.
I was really worried about Choice Scarf Terrakion because it would have just done worked a team. So what was the Terrakion?
The Terrakion was a Swords Dance Terrakion. I originally had it as a Scarf Terrakion, kind of for the same reason as the Zapdos, to kind of come in and Stone Edge a +1 Gyarados, because I would still outspeed. I went with Choice Scarfed Zapdos instead, because if I'm running Choice Scarf, I can't run Wide Lens, and if I missed a Stone Edge on a +1 Gyarados, especially if you've gotten some Moxies or whatever, then the waterfall that I would take after that would not. I wouldn't have taken that. I would have just lost my Terrakion. So I went Zapdos instead for the guaranteed Thunderbolt hit. So
Yeah. The Gyarados I'm actually kind of upset about because I was going to do Moxie,
okay.
but I gave him enough investment, and actually by recommendation of Vincent.
Uh-huh.
Gonna listen to this. I'm not throwing you under the bus. Actually, I am.
Vincent, you cost Joel the match.
Yeah, his idea was enough health and defense investment after Intimidate that a Choice Scarf Terrakion wouldn't OHKO me and I could waterfall it and just take it out.
Right.
But yeah, that obviously didn't work.
Yeah.
I think the lack of speed is definitely what not being able to get a second Dragon Dance. I don't remember how Gyarados went down. How did Gyarados go down?
Thunderbolt from Mesprit. So
I knew that was the other thing I was worried about. Was I was thinking of not Choice Scarfing Flygon, so that I had a way to get around the versatility of Nidoqueen and Mesprit, because I know how you run those typically.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of the stuff that Vincent and I was talking about, I don't know, I'm just used to battling you, so I know how you
right.
battle.
Well, that was the other thing in prep, and I was like, well, some of these Pokemon that I've drafted this time around, I've already used against you multiple times in other matches and other draft leagues, and so some of the stuff that would be surprising to maybe somebody else I was playing against, it would not be to you. You would be expecting it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so the Gyarados, that was just unfortunate. Celesteela, that was unfortunate too.
Mm-hmm.
I think losing Celesteela that early, Celesteela could have been a great help, but losing Celesteela as early as I did was just really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And how did Celesteela go down? It was from Nidoqueen, right?
Yeah, 2 Thunderbolts from Life Orb, Sheer Force, Nidoqueen.
I knew that was going to be... I knew it. I freaking knew it. I don't... It was hard because in the same line of thinking that you were for Terrakion, I was that way for Flygon. If I put a Scarf on this thing, it's just going to be so hard to play around. And for that reason, I typically am not a huge fan of scarfing or banding or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't like being locked into one move, especially with Outrage.
Yeah. Well, the difficulty with Scarfing, or Flygon specifically, is that most of the moves he gets that you would want to run are there are a lot of immunities to it. So if you lock yourself in Earthquake, I can fly or levitate above an Earthquake. If you lock yourself into Outrage, I can switch into a fairy type, and that does nothing. If you lock yourself into first impression, you have to switch out the next turn, you know? And so that's kind of the downside of scarfing Flygon specifically with those kinds of moves, is that it just, you know, it's kind of a high risk, high reward sort of a thing. And once I realized you were choiced in some way, I assumed it was scarfed after I saw the damage. And I was like, okay, if he scarfed, then that made Flygon less of a problem as far as guessing what you were going to do next, especially when you locked yourself in Outrage. I was like, okay, well, I know what he's doing next. He's going to Outrage because he has to. But all in all, I thought that was a good match. You and I can keep discussing a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and let these fine people on this recording go so that we don't have this for another 2 hours, because you and I like to talk about sets and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and